What time is it? Oh, it's 3:32. So I'll call the meeting of the Development Permit Panel to order for March the 10th, 2021. And I'll just introduce the panel members today. We have Cecilia Asham, our General Manager of Community Safety, and John Irving, our General Manager of Engineering and Public Works. And I'm Joe Erseg, the General Manager of Planning. So we just have the one item, so in due course we'll start with a presentation from the applicant, comments from staff, anything from the public, questions from the panel. We'll deliberate and formulate a recommendation for council for the project. So the first thing to do is adoption of some minutes. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find my agenda. Minutes of January the 27th of 2021. So
move for adoption.
Okay, so we'll consider them adopted. All right, so that brings us to the one application. It's a development permit. The number is 17-768-763. It's Landcraft Homes Limited. The property address is 5751 Francis Road, and this little development permit is for a triplex development on the site. So if we can have a presentation from the applicant team, please.
Yep. So where is the share screen up? Yeah.
There we go. We can see that.
Perfect. Okay. Everyone see?
Yep.
Perfect. Yep. Hi, everyone. My name is Gordon, registered architect ABC from DF Architecture, here with Zubin and Ray. We're also on the project. And from PMG Landscape Architecture, we have Denisa, who will be going up after us. So just a quick run through for the context of the site. So as Joe has summarized, it's on 5751 Francis Road with the aerial photo over here. So currently proposed as a triplex, just a little slide through of the site here. So there's a common driveway that is providing access to the three units, type A, B, and C, type C being the convertible units. Each one of the units are side-by-side garages with the recycling and the refuse inside the garage, and then there's a common staging area for garbage outside here as well. There's a small pedestrian walkway within that common driveway for access to the two units in the back, B and A. There's a visitor parking space beside the type A unit over here. And then, yeah, each unit has access to a large outdoor amenity space here. So this one would be for the type C. This one would be for type B, and then over here for type A. Next one. So just a closer blow up of the driveway, interior driveway here, common driveway. A bit about the architectural aesthetic. So we're taking cues from craftsman style aesthetic. We were aiming to do three very distinct yet related facades and aesthetics here. So we try to use materials that reflect adjacent single-family dwellings. So it's keeping the facade finishes quite the same. So you'll notice from the streetscapes that we have here, we're quite comparable in terms of building height to the adjacent neighboring properties, with some articulations due to the fact that there are three units put together. There is quite a bit of undulation of the roof line, so a bit more variety in the facades. Moving on, the materials that we are proposing. So here are some few renderings for you to see the proposed materials. So there's some brick materials as well, and there's some stone materials that will be on the other facades. We have hardened siding, and I'll just fly through the renderings here just to give a bit of context. Yeah, so we have a hardy siding for most of the cladding, and then hardy shingles as well proposed. The site is well lit with bollard lights and exterior lighting for the each of the units. Let me just fly through those. It's here, yeah. So exterior lighting provided to keep the site well lit for subset reasons as well as for aesthetic reasons as well. All of them are proposed are downlights to reduce light pollution and to highlight the entrances of each of the units. The landscape can get into this a little bit more, but then all of the landscapes are proposing shrubs that are lower than eye level, with the lower branches above eye level, just to keep the sight lines in place. We placed windows strategically facing the interior driveway to give more surveillance of the interior driveway in the common areas, but we also kept in mind the privacy between each of the units. In terms of sustainability, we have a few things that we're proposing. Oh, sorry, let's go back on this one. For sustainability, we're proposing a few things. So roofing with a high reflectance roofing, high performance filmingly broken double glazed windows, ceiling insulation with outboard insulation 2-inch rigid above grade, and enhanced air tightness by exterior air barrier detailing. So there's a number of things that we're doing sustainability-wise, and we can give more information about that if requested. And I think the last, sorry? Oh, right. Sorry, thank you, Zubin. So for the site entrance, let me just go back to the site plan here. So we try to keep connectivity to the public roads and the public sidewalks as best as possible with this common pedestrian walkway. The entrances so the entrances to the adjacent sites, currently what we're showing here, let me just slide to the last page. Here we go. So we've done a mock-up of what the adjacent neighborhood, the adjacent neighboring site can do in terms of a proposal. So we have a shared driveway that will access both properties. So the adjacent property can develop something of the like triplex here, sharing one single driveway, and then this will be a cross access easement to gain access to each of those units. And then I think. Oh, right. So the interior. Oh, sorry. The interiors of the each of the units. We don't have. We have the floor plan. Here we go. So this is a Type C floor plan. Sorry?
Yeah. So just to hop in here, just to give you an idea that this is a Type C floor plan, which is the convertible unit, which is designed in terms of accessibility. It's an adaptable unit. We have all the units are 4-bedroom units and 4 to 5 bedroom units. They're pretty large, yet a little bit concise in size, so it becomes more affordable for the neighborhood. In terms of the accessibility of this unit, we purposely placed it fronting onto Francis itself, so that it has clear connectivity to the road for the access. And for going from one level to the other, we are proposing a stairlift for the time being. The master bedroom is designed as the adaptable bedroom, with the washroom and the ensuite also being adaptable type. The remaining 2 units won't be adaptable, but have similar kind of a layout with almost 4 bedrooms. I think each of the units is approximately 1,800 square feet in size. I think now we could flip to landscape if they want to cover any of the points. Do you need that?
Yes, thank you. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. Actually, now I can't hear you. You're muted.
Now is okay?
Yeah, now it's good.
So good afternoon, everybody. A landscape plan for this project have been designed to provide each unit with private yard, with shade tree, open lawn area, and some landscape. I have to say that all yards are fully accessible. Streetscape have been improved with low aluminum transparent fence with gate, which set back with 2 feet to incorporate some interesting species. Privacy from adjacent development have been created with 6 feet wood fence, and yards are separated with landscape and fence for privacy. We are proposing some boiler lights for better lighting for outdoor areas, and as well we're providing permeable pavers in different colors for internal driveway, where the pedestrian kind of walkway we are emphasize with different color and different pattern of permeable pavers. The garbage area have been screened with evergreen hedge and conifer tree. So pretty much this is an overview for this project. I'm open for questions and suggestions.
Maybe I can get it started. Where is the garbage? Is it at the front there? And how is it screened?
It's
Sorry if I'm correct, but that's just the garbage staging area. Each of the units, as we've shown previously, has a space within the garages where we have allocated space to collect garbage. It's just that during the garbage pickup day, it would be difficult for the truck to come all the way in, so hence we've got a staging area up front.
So on collection day, you just roll the carts down to that little area. They wouldn't be there permanently. Okay. And it looked in the rendering as if there was a little courtyard, a paved area adjacent to that staging area. What is that?
That's the PMT.
No, yeah, there you go, that one.
I think that's the location. That's the one. Oh, the water meter location, sorry.
What is that?
There's a water meter coming in over there. Right.
Oh.
Yeah, so we were asked, can you see the site? Yeah, it's right on the top, right? Defined on that. Yeah, so we were asked to leave a right of way for the 1 meter of this. We've left it empty of that.
Okay, so that's for the installation of the water meter? It seems like a large area.
I think engineering had defined and asked us to leave that space, 2 meters by 3 meters up front.
Okay.
Hence, we have just allocated that space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
if they require a smaller area, we would more than happy to landscape it and so that would look a little bit better.
Right.
Rather than having it exposed out there.
Okay. And last question for me anyway. I mean, it's a small site, well used, but I'm looking at that unit. If you can actually just go back to the previous plan. Yeah, so what is it, type A unit? Mm-hmm. The cars there have to, I'm assuming that you've designed this so that all the cars can leave the site in a forward gear, right?
Correct. So we have submitted a auto turn radius, auto turn diagram velocity to show that the turning radiuses are possible. It is very tight. It isn't that easy to
It sure looks like it for type A, because they have to swing 180 degrees, right?
Correct.
So how do they do that?
I do not have the auto turn sheet right now, but do you want me to just pull it up to show you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, give me a minute, please.
I mean, if you have it handy.
We have just submitted it to City. I'm just trying to search for the file. I didn't expect that question right now, to be honest.
Well, we like to ask the unexpected.
Okay, so that's the civil engineer's drawings for each of the units that he has
Oh, yeah.
submitted to the attorneys. Yeah.
So so that unit is really quite dependent on there not being anything parked outside the garage for the one beside it, right?
I think for any of the units to be easily working, we would not be able to have any kind of parked outside. Also, we've reduced the curves around the buildings to facilitate the turning. However, when the neighboring lot does develop, this will just open up the courtyard and it will become more feasible for the turning for all the cars.
Okay. And so I guess you've precipitated another question from me. The neighboring lot, there are no plans currently for that to redevelop, are there? You don't control that lot, do you?
We do not.
Okay, so you just made provision for that possibility. Okay. All right. That's it for me. Do any other members of the panel have questions?
I do. I have a question. To the point of having the shared driveway for the adjacent sites, we've had recently some issues with, other stratas not sharing the driveway, despite that there are legal agreements on title. I wonder, this is just a for consideration item, that whether that driveway design should indicate almost, break the walkway and indicate more of a driveway that it will connect to the adjacent site, like from the actual paving, to give a clue so that, people moving in.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a valid point. We could define the walkway up. The idea is that we do not control the design for the neighboring lot as of now. So we are assuming that this is how they would design that courtyard. They do have options of a few more design options that they could come up with. So we cannot control the actual access point and what they would need, but we would need to give that whole length as an access point. We would just keep it open right from where it's marked in red, cross-access easement. We would be keeping that open, and then depending on how they design, they can work the entire courtyard out together. But yeah, we could break the flooring pattern, as you said. It does make sense.
the other question I have is on lighting. There has been some concern on light pollution lately. So can you just quickly show us how your exterior lighting would work?
So this is the exterior lighting plan that we've submitted to city. And as you can see, both the lights proposed are downward lights, the flow light as well as the box cone. They would be aimed downward to keep the light pollution at the minimum. Also, I don't think these are very high-powered lights to give a lot of light pollution, so they should not be impeding on any of the neighbors or causing pollution, light pollution to them.
And I think we got comments after our ADP presentation. We had comments around the number of lighting, so we have reduced the number of lighting for the outside as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, John, do you have any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Just going back to the garbage, can those bins be moved out when you have two cars parked in the garage? Doesn't look like there's a lot of room there.
I think there would be some space, given that we've got extra space in the front of the cars. So if they were to move in front, they will have a little bit of walkway from the side to take it in. The garages are tight, but they are as per the zoning sizes, which are there for garages for mostly for townhouse kind of developments. So yes, they are a little bit tight. So yeah, there would be some space, but it would be limited.
It looks like, John, in a perfect world with a perfect driver, yes, you can. There is room there, but if you have a larger vehicle or larger than average vehicle, it might be an issue.
Yeah, well, maybe that can just be proved out in the same way you've done your turning radiuses.
Sure.
We could demarket that.
Yeah.
We could ask staff to confirm that before moving ahead with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be great. That's all I've got, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Wayne, do you have staff comments on this?
Just a couple comments through the chair. There is a servicing agreement associated with this development for frontage works along Francis Road. The development will achieve step code 3 in terms of the energy step code. And in response to Mrs. Shem's question about cross access, there will be signage installed on the fence to indicate that the driveway would connect to the site to the east in future. That signage is inspected as part of the landscape inspection, so city staff will ensure that signage is installed as part of our landscape inspection process.
Right. And it looked like it's a newish house on the neighboring property, so it might be some time, right?
That is
if
correct.
at all. Yeah. Okay. All right. Any questions for staff? Not seeing any. Wayne, do we have any written material on this one?
Nothing, Mr. Chair.
And I believe that there was no one signed up to speak on it either. Is that correct?
That is correct. Okay.
So there is a positive staff recommendation. I can just power up my iPad. If I'm looking for someone to move.
So moved.
And
Seconded. Second.
Okay. And any comments, questions? I think we've dealt with all of that. It seems like a good little project. I mean, it is pretty tight. And so I guess the attention to detail is important, but it looks like it's pretty well sorted out to me. So moved and seconded. I guess I'll call the question. All those in favour? Opposed? So it's carried. And we just asked that before we package it up, Wayne, to council, that we just confirm the question John had about getting the bins out.
We will do so.
Okay, thanks very much, folks, for your project.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Any new business, Wayne?
No new business, Mr. Chair.
So the next meeting is still on the 24th, presumably?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyone move to adjourn?
Move.
Okay, and now we're adjourned. Thank you.